Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to try to take a first look at the stat revamp. If you see what you're seeing right now on the screen, that is normal. Right now there's quite a lot of reasons why even legendary players have to wait and cure sometimes. Basically, supposedly there's a lot of new players that are either trying the game or old players who left the game some time ago or are coming back. At least that's what some people think. Personally, I'm more of a mind of thinking that whenever I play the game, I get disconnected at least 5, 6, 10 times during a gameplay session, which means that I have to relog back in, and of course I have to wait and cure again. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the people waiting in cure are actually people who got disconnected 2, 3, 4, 5 times and are trying to get back into the game. Basically, for at least a while, the game will be pretty unstable and so will the servers. So don't be surprised if the game crashes once in a while or if you get disconnected more often than usual. Usually after a game update, there's at least a few days where that kind of stuff will happen, where the servers will be a bit unstable. And bear in mind that Game Update 76 was a huge update. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some pretty unstable servers for at least a week, if not 2 or if not 3 weeks. Again, it was a pretty big update. The last time we had such a big update was with the Game Update 47, if I'm not mistaken. And it took quite a few weeks before most of the kinks were worked out. So I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens here. So we're going to use the power of editing to be able to skip waiting in line. As you can see, we still have 87 people in front of us. So let's skip right now. I've already recorded a bit in this video, but the sound is a bit wonky in a few places. So don't be surprised if you see me repeat myself. Odds are it's just that I've re-recorded a bit that I've already recorded. Also, people have been complaining about sometimes my sound not being loud enough. So I'm going to try to put the microphone to the max, and hopefully it will make a difference for you guys. If it's still not if the volume is still not high enough, nothing I can do at this point. Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to take a look at all the changes that have been made since thanks to the stats revamp. As you can see, all my armories are disabled, so I'm gonna have to respec and re-imprint all my armories. So let's get started. So let's take a look at our character. The first thing I'm going to do is that supposedly they're giving a free respect token to everyone. It's one per account from what I understand, so let's start and do that. So let's go into redeem claim. So we got a stat revamp free respect. So let's use it. So we've redeemed it on this character. My guess is that we probably could trade it to any other characters on this account. But be warned, from what I understand, it's one per account. So if you have a specific character that you want to respec, let's see if we can put it in. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, we can put it in our shared bank. So we can give it to pretty much any characters on our account. If I ever respect any character, this would be the one. Why would I want to respec? For quite some time, I've been toying with the idea of changing this character to Quantum. I have other Quantum characters, but also I have other mental characters. So I'm toying with the idea of using Quantum instead of mental. But let's take a quick look at mental first. We'll decide after. So as you can see, if we look at the traits of our characters, they've pretty much redone the whole way the interface works. So let's go to mental. From what I understand, we no longer need to Okay, from what I understand, we get access to pretty much every powers we have. So at level 1, let's say we would get access to telekinesis. At level 3, telekinetic push. Level 5, telekinetic pull, and so on. And by level 30, from what I understand, we should have access to pretty much all our powers. Now there's Psychic Prison. I'm not sure what that one does. And if we look at our loadouts, So as you can see, we pretty much have all our powers here, and so we have access to pretty much all the powers that our character has access to. And sadly, for pretty much every characters I own, I'm going to have to go through all the powers and relearn what they do. I will try to make a bunch of videos about that. Basically, whenever I do it with a different power, I'll try to see if I can do it with you guys. So you can see we have our three loadouts. We have our control loadout, damage loadout, and invisibility loadout. And that would be for this one armory. And I would have to redo that for every armories. So I'm not sure I'll do that with you guys in the sense that I won't have you go through that. Let's take a quick look at the weapons. So as you can see, they've pretty much changed all the weapons, how the weapons work. So we won't have to put points into every single weapons anymore, unless we really want to. And I'm not sure how the weapon mastery actually works. So we're going to explore that together, I suppose. Let's look at brawling. So basically with this character I was using hand blasters. So as you can see, I already have 1 point in there. Meteor blast. Power discharge. So there's only a few requirements for our weapon masteries anymore. I'm not sure if I'm going to use weapon masteries with this character. Basically, from what I understand, we don't really have to use weapon masteries anymore. I was using weapon masteries with a lot of characters because it was one of the more powerful options at the time. But I'll probably try to stick to using weapon masteries only with characters with which it makes some sort of sense. Like my Taskmaster character will probably be using weapon masteries. If I create a Deathstroke character, that one would be using weapon masteries. If I was to create, who else would use multiple weapons? A Deadpool character would probably use weapon masteries. So with this character, we're using hand blasters. Actually, I was using weapon brawling, but I'll probably use hand blasters nowadays. Let's go grab our... Oh, that's the PvP one, so that's probably the other one. I probably don't have... If they've reset everything, yeah, I don't have weapon brawling anymore. Also, we're supposed to get something for our mods through mail. So these are the stat revamp mods. Thanks for playing this universe online. In the stat revamp update, we made stats like restoration and might matter more than your hero and villain. Characters, so it's important to look for stat bonuses whenever you can to make your character more powerful. We want to start you off on the right foot. So we attached a gift in this email, some equipment mods and generator mods. These are important to everyone, but especially important for already existing characters with combo power sets and oh yeah, let's go take a look at... I should still have my mods, shouldn't I? Okay, so my mods that I've crafted or purchased are still here. And let's look in our equipment. And here are our equipment. Yeah, our mods are still there too. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, experiment with those mods and see what's what. So for skimming, skimming seems to be pretty much the same as it used to be. So now iconic powers, from what I understand, requires skill points to purchase, as you can see up there. So it would allow you to purchase all the iconic powers if you wish, and use them on the fly if you really want to. There doesn't seem to be as much as I remember. So we still have Amazonian Deflection, Batarang Multi-Shot, Clown Box, Gag Glove, Robot Sidekick, Hardlight Shield, Mesmerizing Lasso, Sonic Cry, Heat Vision, Freeze Breath, Neo Venom Boost, Word of Power, Pheromone Bloom, Sonic Shout, and Super Strength. Oh, we don't have X-Ray Visions anymore, or do we? Did I miss it? I guess not. So if you recall previously in the past, we would need to put a lot of points on weapons in order to be able to get various stat boosts. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So we're going to start by putting points into end blasters, and let's see what happens. Actually, okay, we're going to switch our characters to power. So as you can see, it's a stat revamp for respect. It's account bound. We cannot sell it. And it's a gift from Daybreak to our members. I assume it's because let's assume because of all the changes, you're unhappy with the power that your character has. You can they gave you this token so that you would be able to change it without needing to spend $10 on that character. So it will change the power type. And that's pretty much all it does. So let's give it a try. So let's go for Quantum. And there we go. It shouldn't affect our gear since we're Quantum is still a controller power. So I switched controller to controller. I will probably empty my inventory a bit before I open some of the other stuff. So let's look at our traits now. So yeah, now we're Quantum, and you can see all the Quantum powers here. So again, by the time you reach level 30, odds are you should have access to everything. Oblivion, no idea what that's supposed to be. Oh, and we have the power cost now, 300, 200. Oh. I assume the first numbers, the one the power cost at the start as we create our characters, and as we go up in level and gain better equipment, the one in between bracket is probably the current cost, the power cost, which is a little counterintuitive. Basically, the more power you have, the more your character goes up in level, the more power you have, and the more expensive your powers are to cast somehow. I'm not sure what kind of sense that makes, but anyways. Because as you see, we have 1500 power. So if our power still were costing, let's say 100 to cast, we would be able to cast it an awful lot. I guess the argument would be that as you go up in level, your power does more damage or whatever, and so it costs more to be able to do that much extra damage. Oh well. Okay, enough stalling. Oh, let's see. Let's take a quick look at that shouldn't have changed. That shouldn't have changed. Okay, enough stalling around. Let's get started in making some changes. So previously, this used to be my Magneto character. Previously, I was switching between brawling and blasters, depending on if I was playing DPS. I was using melee, meaning I wasn't even using my weapon. I was just using my powers from the tray, and my melee weapon only if I really had to. As opposed to when I was playing as a controller, I was using end blasters a bit more, especially for the critical bonus from the weapon masteries. So now let's see. So we have access to all our powers. So I guess we can start by before we do that. So end blasters is still going to be our weapon of choice. Power discharge. Okay, wait. To hold. Actually, I will probably make videos about the various weapons and powers. So let's go a bit faster. Uppercut. Power discharge. Pulse beam. Solar flare. A scissor kick. I don't really like that power that attacks whenever I really purchase it. I'm probably the only guy who does that, but what can I say? Okay, so for the hand blasters mastery, oh, we need to spend 8 points in hand blasters. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we have no choice then. Oh well. So I'm not going to get the weapon masteries with this character. Don't really see the point right now. So for skimming, let's go for hyper skimming. We're going to be able to fly a little bit faster. Usually here I only get swoop attack. Oh, maybe I'll get. I usually take swoop attack just to be able to unlock those abilities here. At some point I would take. Oh, it doesn't do. I used to take. At some point I was taking Typhoon because as you broke free, it would also give you back some power back. Doesn't say so in the description anymore. So I'm not going to purchase it then. So after spending what I think is pretty important stuff, after purchasing what I think is pretty important stuff, we still have 187 points for stats. Although let's look at the iconic powers. Maybe there's something worth getting. I used to take super strength. Gain immense strength along the 10% weaponization skill. I used to take super strength. I'm not going to do so today. Actually, let's 1 point. What does it matter? So let's go to our stats. So as you can see, they've split the stats into 3 categories. There's weapon experts, there's a hybrid, and there's super powered. You can only choose one focus. That's nice. At this point, I suspect we'll probably use only power. Decisions. Weapons, hybrid, or power. Let's go with this one. So we have access to 1% weapon attack chance or 1% critical ability attack chance. Healing chance don't matter. Critical power chance. That will be good when I switch to controller. So for now, let's focus on this one. And now I wonder, do I have to put 20 points in here? Oh, it requires 11 stat points. Okay. So the next one is critical attack damage. I'll probably make a video at some point just about the stat points. So I'll try to go a little faster here. Okay, seeing how I'm going to use my powers and little else, let's go this way. I assume we can still respect our characters, so I doubt you can actually make mistakes. And yeah, when you have 200 points, it takes a while to assign all your points. And even worse when you have to do that for each armories. I have a friend yesterday who could not grasp the concept that I had to reset my powers and I had lots of skill points to reset. He kept on asking me to group, and I had to tell him 20 times, I can't, I'm resetting my abilities. Oh, so here, each 5 points give you 1% health. Each 5 points give you 1% dominance. That's a bit strange, but okay. So we're not going to use our powers. Precision is, for those who always wonder, precision as a rule of thumb is for weapons. Although in the past, precision would be good if you were using a Green Lantern power with combos or a Celestial power with combos. Nowadays, from what I understand, every power pretty much work using might. So since we're going to use Quantum, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use my powers with this character, let's go with putting points into might and power. And whatever power points I have left, I will put all those in might and power. It's a bit weird because we're used to the other system. And you can see basically like as I put points into it, the percentage seems to change, and we see next level we should get more. Almost there. Stay on target. And there we go. So right now we've pretty much assigned our points. So now let's see. Imprint menu. For him, let's do imprint all. And for him, let's do imprint traits and loadouts. There we go. So we won't have to redo it every time. Basically, I have two controller armory. One armory was my main controller armory, but the other one was what I would label my debuff armory. It's an armory where I was using mostly debuff powers. Oh yeah, which reminds me, yeah. Let's take a look at our loadouts. I guess I'm going to have to read all my powers once more. So I guess I will need to read my power descriptions and experiment with my powers a bit before I can come up with some sort of loadout. From what I understand, pretty much any powers can be viable to use in your loadout. Even the iconic powers, like supposedly you should be able to create an entire loadout just with iconic powers, or an entire loadout just with super speed abilities. I guess we're gonna have to experiment that and see in a bit. So we'll do some experimenting. And as I experiment with each power, then I'll probably make a video about whatever loadout I've chosen for whatever reasons. And sadly, I'm gonna have to do that with every single characters that I have. So it'll take me a while to go through all the powers, and I will probably at some point create a new character to see how the leveling process actually works. And again, if you see the login queue like you're seeing right now, get used to it. We should see that at least for a few days, if not for a week or two. And sadly, since I'm the kind of guy who likes to switch from one character to the next, I've been seeing that screen quite a lot in the past couple of days. So, okay, so that's pretty much it for now, guys. So basically, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to experiment with all the powers. Not all at once. Like, I'll probably experiment with Quantum, try to come up with some sort of loadout, and then I will probably make a Quantum video. Then I'll experiment with, let's say, my friend Alan Scott and the Green Lantern powers, and then I'll make a video about that. So I will probably do some experiment on my own and then make a video, unless I decide to be crazy and experiment in the video directly. I guess we'll wait and see. Just that if I spend half a minute reading a power description and trying to make up my mind whether I will use that power or not, I think you guys will go nuts watching that. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. So basically, there's going to be a lot of stuff to cover. I'll try to make videos about. I made a video more or less general about the whole stat revamp, but I'll probably try to make videos then focusing on each power, videos focusing on each weapon, and also videos focusing on certain parts like just the skill tree. We'll see how it works out. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.